Hello, Williamson County Republicans. I want to welcome you to your district's Republican County Commission Candidate Forum. This is your opportunity to hear directly from who may represent your interests on the County Commission. The County Commission is the legislative body for Williamson County. They are entrusted with the responsibility to raise funds through taxation and in how that money is then spent. They also appoint replacements to any vacant elected office in Williamson County until the next regularly scheduled general election. There are 24 commissioners, 2 per district, and they serve for a 4-year term. It is important that you understand that when you vote, you will have the opportunity to vote for up to 2 people to represent you. You do not have to vote for 2. You may vote for 1. You may choose to vote for none, or you may write in a candidate. The point is, you should vote for those whom you feel will best represent you. You are not forced to vote for anyone just to fill the ballot. We encourage you to learn more about each candidate, to ask hard questions about issues here in Williamson County, and that you stay engaged after your commissioners are elected. We hope that you will vote, but we ask that you vote informed. Thank you for your time, and now your district's candidates for County Commission.
Welcome to the Williamson County Republican Party District 10 County Commissioner Forum. I'm Steve Abramowicz, your moderator this evening and host of the Heartland Journal podcast. Tonight we have 3 invited guests. We have Commissioner Bill Petty, Commissioner Meghan Guffee, and Cheryl Brown. And we have in studio with us Commissioner Bill Petty, who accepted the invitation. So we look forward to speaking to him. We are all seeking your vote to represent you in District 10. Commissioner, we are going to get going, so we'll start with a 1-minute opening statement from each candidate, which tonight is just you.
Okay. My name is Bill Petty. I am currently the commissioner, one of the commissioners in District 10. I won a special election back in November of 24 because Dave Landrum, who was one of the commissioners in District 10, moved out of the district and he had to resign. So I've been in office. I sat for my first commission meeting in January of 2025. So I've been active just about a year now. I'm relatively new to the area. I moved into Franklin exactly 4 years ago, and how I became a commissioner is a mystery to me, but I am, and it's been a very interesting experience.
Okay, let's get into some questions. What is your position on contracting Williamson Inc. for about $400,000 annually to perform the function of a Chamber of Commerce on behalf of the county? Should the county bring economic development function back into direct county oversight?
That's a good question. We had a vote on that last week, and I was the only one, that, as I recall, that didn't vote yes. I voted present at that point because I want to bring up the issue. Most counties in the state, those are separate. The development part is with the county and the county employees. But what we've done is we've merged the chamber with the development commission, or I don't know if it's a commission or not, but it's a development group. And that's something I really want to take a look at. We're giving them $400,000 a year. And in the scope of our entire budgets, it's a small amount, but it's still, $400,000. And so I think it's worthy of us taking a closer look and seeing if we bring that in-house, if we can save some money.
Excellent. County elections are currently held as part of a pilot program using electronic voting machines and convenience centers. This trial program was put in place in an attempt to increase voter turnout, a metric according to the Secretary of State, which has not improved. Opponents to this system advocate for the return to precinct-only voting, among other changes, understanding that the State Election Commission has ultimate authority in this matter. Explain your position regarding the voting system that you believe should be employed in Williamson County.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is we still have precincts, and we report our votes by precincts, but people don't vote in precincts. They have these voting centers, and the whole idea, I think, is to make voting more convenient, make it easier for people to vote. And I think that to a certain extent that's not a bad idea, but another part of me thinks, we shouldn't make it so easy. I mean, it's a commitment that you make as a citizen, and if you have to have a little inconvenience to do it, you should do it anyway. And I don't like the voting machines. I want to go back to hand-marked paper ballots, watermark ballots. I think that's the way to do it. I'm not wild about early voting. I could see us maybe having 3 or 4 days of early voting, but we have 2 weeks of it. I just think that's overkill. And if somebody can't get in to vote in 2 or 3 days, well, there's always going to be an exception. Oh, somebody had broke a leg, or they had a heart attack, or they had, whatever. There's always going to be reasons that people can't vote. That happens no matter what. But I'd like to see us go back to paper ballots and have vote in actual precincts.
Okay. Data indicates that the student population in Williamson County School is dropping. However, the capital budget for construction of new schools and expanding existing schools continues to grow and is approaching $1 billion. This is also a primary driver of the current $1.2 billion county debt. What is your position regarding the current planned spending for schools in the current demographic and fiscal environment?
Yeah. Well, the schools are the elephant in the living room, let's be honest. I mean, it's 75% of our budget. If you look at your tax statement for Williamson County, it's somewhere around 60% of your real estate tax goes to schools. So the schools are voracious. In 1990, we had the county population was 90,000. We're approaching 275,000 right now, close to 300, and we're predicting that maybe in the next 20 years will be 500,000. We built 27 schools from 1990 to 2025. We built 27 schools. We built every one of them with debt. Every school we borrowed, and that's what we do. All the capital expenses for our schools go to debt, and we add on anywhere from $15 to $30 million every year for school debt for various things. Upkeep. We have 52 schools. The oldest school, I think, was built in 1981 or something like that. So some of the schools are aged. We've had to do things, security improvements. We had to put film on the windows so they're bulletproof. We've had to change locks. We have a situation now where we have to, every school supposedly has to have 3 locked doors you have to come through to get into the classrooms. Okay, I could go on. It's very expensive. They're going to talk about their budget tomorrow night in a work session, and their budget is coming in at $20 million over budget right now. And that's what we're starting with this year. Mm-hmm. And there's so much more I could say. I
think you'll have a chance
I ran
to
out
say
of time.
More. It's okay. I think we'll get to more issues. You can throw it in there. But so how is the state's execution of the Tennessee Investment in Student Achievement, TISA, formula impacted Williamson County, and what specific policy recommendations would you propose in a county level resolution to demand the state remedy the education funding allocation deficiency?
Yeah, well, that's TISA, and it's a thing called fiscal capacity. I love that word. So we are the richest county in the state. We're supposedly one of the 10 richest counties in the country. So everybody looks at us, well, you can pay for it, it's no problem. You guys have all the money. We've got, supposedly we have $100 billion in value in the county. All the property, all the land, everything. So we're very, very rich. And so, in a sense, we're kind of subsidizing the rest of the state. The default amount of money that the state gives per student in each county is $7,200 and some dollars. We get $4,400. If we got an extra 1,000 per student, we got right around 41,000 students. If we got an extra 1,000, we wouldn't have to borrow each year to keep the schools up. The money would be there. We wouldn't have to capitalize them. We wouldn't have to, float bonds to pay for it. The truth of the matter is, we can't afford our county. We have to take out loans every year just to pay our bills. And our debt keeps going up and up and up, and there's no sign in the future of ever slacking, ever paying it off. Right now we're about almost $1.2 billion in debt, and that's going to continue to grow.
Okay.
And I wish I had more time on that one.
As you know, the county incurs large unrecoverable costs to finance infrastructure, expansion, water, sewer, roadways, schools, etc. You mentioned it. Required by the expansion of municipal boundaries through annexation. What is your position regarding the recent Williamson County Commission resolution which demands that the state of Tennessee change the law to empower county governments to have a say regarding annexation?
Well, that bill went down in flames today in the state and local House committee. I was the one, I didn't write the resolution, but I had the resolution written and I co-sponsored it with our county. And it passed 16 to 6. It was a super majority when we passed it. I'm very much in favor of the county having some say when the cities annex and develop the land that they annex. Another problem that we're having too, and this was not an original idea of the urban growth boundaries, is that you weren't supposed to be able to annex non-contiguous property. That's what they're doing now. So they're annexing, you have the city, you have county, and you have city. And that creates a lot of problems, a lot of confusion. Who's in charge? Who does the roads? How about the police? How about the fire? Things like that. Plus the costs. So what the whole idea behind the resolution was to allow the county commission to have some say if the impact study comes back. First of all, ask for an impact study. If we have a proper impact study, we look at it and say, well, this is really going to be a problem for the county. It's going to be expensive. It's going to create more congestion. It's going to be difficult for us to handle this. We should be able to say, well, no, maybe we ought to hold off. Maybe we ought to let some of the infrastructure catch up. And maybe you'll ask me about infrastructure because I have a lot to say about that as well.
Okay. Yes, I know. We're at time constraints.
I know, and I get it.
The rules of these are strict.
Yeah.
The sale of WC Health, the county hospital, is a major current issue involving potentially several $100 million. The debate centers on the preservation of a high-quality nonprofit hospital serving the community versus the liquidation of county ownership, which may or may not directly benefit the taxpayers. What is your position on this debate?
Well, again, the resolution that we voted on, I think it was October or November, I can't remember which, I co-sponsored to appeal to the state legislature to change the rules so that the money, any profit that we would get would come to the county and the county commission would decide how it's spent and not go into a trust fund that's designed specifically for healthcare needs. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I think the county owns the building and the county owns the land it's on. We know that for sure. We're not sure what else we do or do not own. It's a very convoluted issue. The hospital has a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things that we don't really understand completely. But if it does sell, and we don't know if it's going to sell or not, it's very likely. I know there's RFPs out, and some major hospital chains I think have shown some interest in it. But what happened is that there's a thing called certificate of need. It's a law that's going off the books. And if that goes off, that means that a hospital chain can come into Williamson County and they don't have to prove that we need a hospital here anymore. And that was kind of the tipping point that precipitated this whole movement to do something with the hospital because they wanted to get ahead of the curve on that. The county commission has final vote on it. After all is said and done, they'll bring whatever the offer is to sell, and we vote on it. We can turn it down or we can approve it.
Okay. There's a proposal underway to replace the current county courthouse. What's your position regarding whether to expand the current facility, building a new one, lease additional space, or do nothing?
The current courthouse was inadequate the day it was opened. It's horrible. I went on a tour last week with Judge Dina Hood. She took us through the whole thing. I mean, there are lawyers and their clients. They're meeting in a back room where they have the garbage cans. They don't have a place to meet. They don't have enough courtrooms. Probably the biggest issue is that, according to the Fifth Amendment of our Constitution, you're supposed to get a speedy trial. We don't have the court capacity to do speedy trials, and some people are being held up a year or over a year for a court case because there's not a courtroom available for them to have the trial. So we need a new courthouse. we need to do it right. The first one, the people that built it didn't consult with the people who were actually going to use it. And trying to refurbish what's there is probably not going to work. We're probably going to have a new space. And I know there's that property over next to the police station that we're looking at. That may well be our best option. I don't know. But we voted last week to create a task force of people who know what's going on to study this thing and take a look at what our options are. And this time, let's get it right and make the courthouse that's going to work. But the courthouse we have now is inefficient.
Okay. The Williamson County Sheriff's Office has sought and received millions in additional budget funds to build a new jail, purchase new equipment, hire staff, and increase wages. What's your position regarding the current spending levels in support of the Sheriff's Office?
The number one job of any governmental agency is public safety. Bar none, there's nothing that comes close. We have a fantastic Sheriff's Department. Jeff Hughes is awesome. I have a huge respect for that man. He's done great work. He's hired some great people. He's changed the culture, in my mind, of the Sheriff's Department. The jail that we have is outdated. It's falling apart. It needs to be replaced. And but by the way, people have talked for several years about the blasting at the Vulcan, saying, "Oh, this is destroying the jail." Well, I took a structural engineer there, and we went through every nook and cranny of that jail, and we couldn't find a single crack in the jail because it would be attributed to the blasting. Plus, they also did a seismic test. So there's been a lot of misinformation about that. We need a new jail. They're going through it with a fine-tooth comb. They're cutting out any costs that they, we can't afford, and they're doing a great job. And the jail we have now was not very well designed to begin with. So we have kind of a similar situation to the courthouse. So I'm in support of it. It's going to last for a long time. It's expensive, I know, but
Time. Okay. Yeah, these are budgeting things. That's the way it goes. Tennessee law uses sleight of hand language requiring counties and cities maintaining a balanced budget. This term does not require that counties and cities remain debt-free, with Williamson County debt at $1.2 billion, I believe, and rising. What is your position regarding the trajectory of our county debt, and what would you do about it, given the fact that you just said we need a courthouse, we need a jail, we need a city hall?
Yeah, well, the city hall is not county, but I already alluded to that. We go into debt every year. We have capital expenses. I'll just give you a small example. The school district, they want to replace all the lights in the lighted ball fields. We have 41 lighted ball fields. They wanted $15 million this year to put the LED lights in. And we said, well, I don't think it's going to work this year. So we have to be able to say no to some things. We have to realize, and I said this and I'll say it again, we cannot pay our bills every year unless we borrow. Just let that sink in. Yeah. We have an operational budget, and our operational budget balances. It has to. The school operation budget balances. It has to. But then you have the capital expense. That's a whole other budget. And so if you look at revenue and expenses, we're not balanced. Can't be. If we were, we wouldn't have to borrow the money every year. Right. We have one of the lowest tax rates in the state. Our tax rate is $1.30 per $100 of assessed value. Davidson County is $2.73, just to give you an idea. Now, I'm not suggesting to raise taxes, but the conundrum is trying to figure out how to pay down debt, pay our bills, and not go deeper into debt. And that's the challenge.
It is a tough job. The Republican Party platform, the Republican National Committee, Tennessee Republican Party, and Williamson County Republican Party have all published platform documents indicating what the party believes and stands for. Which, if any, of those stated beliefs do you oppose?
I can't think of any. I read through it a couple times the last couple of days. I didn't see anything in there that I opposed.
Okay. You could use your time for other things if you want to throw them in there real quick.
Yeah, well, I just want to, I don't want to be too rough on the people that have been running the county for the last 30, 40 years because, we have grown tremendously. It's a great county. It really is. And, there's unintended consequences in everything we do. You never know. You make a decision and 10 years from now, there's some ramifications that come about that you couldn't have expected. So I want to make very clear, I have a huge respect for the people I work with. I have huge respect for the people that come before me. But I think we're at a tipping point now, and we have to start thinking about the future and what the county's going to look like in 10 years.
Yeah. It's growing fast. What's your position regarding adult-themed topics, notably regarding sexuality being presented in schools, public libraries, or other public areas where children will be in attendance?
I'm totally against it. I don't understand. When I moved down here from Chicago, I noticed there's a church on almost every corner, and we all claim to be Christians, and yet some of the stuff that we have in the schools and some of the stuff I have in libraries, I kind of shake my head and I go, and I understand there's a constitutional side to it. I get all of that. I get that argument. But for me, I'm very uncomfortable with that. And I think that last year, the school board addressed that, and I think they did a relatively good job of what they were able to do. They got some books out of the library, and then they also put some out of reach for the younger children. But there's still other things that go on. It's just what our whole national culture is. We're affected by it like everybody else. We're not exempt from the national culture, and I think we have to be very careful about that. And we can't be illegal about it. We have a constitution that gives people rights, mm-hmm. But also there's a moral side to it. I think that we have to uphold as best we can, and the best thing we can do is our own families and the people that we associate with the best we possibly can to keep that stuff out of children's sight and mind.
Okay. Last question, and we'll go into some yes or no's. Williamson County has experienced extraordinary commercial and residential growth over the past 20 years. You spelled it out very well. The budget has gone from here to way up here.
Yep.
And the residency has gone from here to way up there. The pace of development has contributed to rising housing costs, persistent traffic congestion, and increasing strain on county infrastructure and public services. What policies would you propose to balance economic development with the capacity of infrastructure, housing supply, and county services? Specifically, should the county reconsider its economic development strategy, including its relationship with Williamson, Inc., in order to slow or better manage future growth?
Yeah, I was door knocking, because I'm campaigning now, the other day, and I came to a house and the woman came, she was a realtor, and she was complaining about the growth. Well, for a realtor, I thought, holy cow, good point. There's a limit to what the county can do. We talked before about the annexation bill that went down. So we can't intervene if a piece of property is going to be annexed and say, well, hold it, there's too much congestion here. This is going to make it worse. We really can't afford this right now. So we don't have that option. That's why we appealed to the state to change the rules. But as county commissioners, actually, the planning commission for the county is autonomous. They make planning decisions and they approve developments or approve homes and whatnot in the unincorporated part of the county, and they don't have to consult us. The only time they consult us is if they want to change zoning. And we did change some zoning to the positive. Probably don't have time to talk about that now, but we did some here recently. So we have very little ability at that point. I would like to see what we need to do is we need to sit down with the municipalities and start working out some arrangements with them and get them to get on board with slowing the growth and controlling it. I mean, Mac had.
There's time on that.
Okay.
I understand.
Well, this is frustrating, isn't it? 'Cause-
Yeah.
Okay.
The good
I
news
get
is
it.
I think when I see the future questions, you will get that again.
Yeah.
So we're going to enter a short answer yes/no question. I think it's how many seconds? Anyone with the rules?
5 seconds. Okay.
No. If it's a yes/no, it's 5, but you can have a short answer.
Okay,
We'll
okay.
give you 20
All right.
seconds. So, for example, what is the most pressing issue in Williamson County today?
I think the growth.
What's the most pressing issue facing your district today? 10.
Well, it'd be the growth. It's the congestion. The streets are backed up. Mac Hatcher, Franklin, Hillsborough. There's a lot of choke points in my district. Yeah.
Where do you get most of your local news?
Man, I get it. That's a great question. I'm a county commissioner, so I know a lot of stuff what's going on in the county, and I talk to people, the Williamson Herald, things like that. But I don't. To be quite honest with you, I don't listen to the radio. I don't watch television.
Yeah, you're not going to get local news there.
Yeah, right.
If the hospital sells, should the proceeds go to healthcare trust or be returned to the county?
To the county.
How many county commission meetings have you attended in the last year?
I've attended all but one.
All right. Let's see here. Yes or no? Should Williamson County end the annual $400,000 plus contract with Williamson Inc. and return to a traditional chamber model not funded by county taxpayers?
I think that's something we should consider.
So, maximum 2 sentences if you can. Should Williamson County advocate returning to precinct-only voting rather than countywide convenience centers?
Yes.
What steps should the county take to advocate for this change?
Well, I'm not sure what has to happen to make that happen. The election commission makes that decision. I'm not sure that's a decision. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if the county commission, we could make a resolution to change that and force the election commission to do that. I'm not sure about that. That's a good question. I have to check into that.
Should Williamson County pause or reduce new school construction until enrollment trends and debt capacity are reevaluated?
Well, they already have paused it. I mean, they were supposed to build something, I think, this year, and I think they've moved it to 2029. We have some schools that, for example, Hunter's Bend is 46% occupied, but you go over to elementary school in Nolensville, it's 110%. But how are you going to get the kids from Nolensville over to, so it's an uneven distribution is the problem. And I think right now we've got $90 million in a fund that comes from the educational impact fee that's set aside specifically for new construction.
What enrollment threshold should trigger new construction?
I don't know. I haven't given any thought to that.
Wrap it up.
But certainly we have been going down for the last 2 or 3 years.
All right. Well, let's see. I think we are out of time, so we're going to wrap it up here. Do you want to make a closing statement?
Well, I think that Williamson County is a great place. I think that the people who have come before me have done a great job of developing industries where people can have jobs here and families can stay here, and I think that's all wonderful. But I think we're kind of a victim of our own success in a way, and I think we have to realize that if we don't start thinking about the future, if we don't start thinking of what's going to be like in 10 years, I think that's where we have to be focusing to make decisions we're going to make the next few months or next few years or whatever. So I'm sorry I got distracted.
That's okay. Well, thanks for coming. We appreciate your time.
My pleasure.